And welcome back to the Steve Malzberg Show, ladies and gentlemen. How about a third term for President Barack Obama? No, don't get sick. Don't run away. Don't check your passport. Our next guest says that it's time to end presidential term limits. And joining us is Professor Jonathan Zimmerman, Professor of History and Education at New York University. Also the author of many books, including Small Wonder, The Little Red Schoolhouse in History and Memory. Hello, Professor. How are you?
I'm good. Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Good. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. Okay. One of the reasons that you give for wanting to do away with the 22nd Amendment and allow a third term, and as it would pertain to President Obama, is that one of the reasons is he doesn't fear the voters right now. But are you suggesting unlimited terms? Because then if you suggested a third term limit, then he would, in other words, whenever he decided to either call it quits or hang it up or not run, which hopefully would be one day, or we would certainly have a dictatorship or a monarchy brewing, he would have no reason to fear the voters at some point. So at least now it's now and he'll be gone. What's the difference?
I just don't see why he shouldn't be able to run continuously, not serve continuously. That's the difference, There's been a huge amount of misrepresentation of my ideas on this subject ever since the Post article came out. There have been email blasts saying, NYU professor supports third Obama term. That's a lie. In fact, I don't support it. What I support is the right of any president to run for another term and the right of you and me and other citizens to vote thumbs up or thumbs down. If your listeners would like to Google me and George W. Bush, they'll see that in 2006 I wrote a very similar piece about George W. Bush in his second term, saying that he, just like Barack Obama, should be able to stand for another term, and we, the people, should be able to decide if we think he's the best person for the job.
All right, but two of the reasons you gave, one is the reason I gave to you, is that the president, whoever it would be, but right now it's Barack Obama, doesn't fear the people because he's not up for re-election. That could happen, like I said, whether he's elected 5 times and then decides not to run, he would have that period where he didn't fear the people, or if he decided to be a one-term president, he would have that same non-fear of the people. And you talk about Democratic lawmakers should worry about provoking the wrath of a president who could be reelected, but that's not the case now. But again, same would apply. Same scenario that I gave just before would apply. So you're just delaying the inevitable, really, by saying he could run again and by giving those 2 reasons, aren't you?
But delaying the inevitable, I don't understand this critique at all. I'm not suggesting that he serve indefinitely. I'm suggesting that the voters should be able to to decide how long he should serve. It seems to me, sir, you're speaking about elections as if they're fait accompli. Let's look at the history, all right?
No, I'm not even talking about the election, sir. I'm saying... You're saying that right now, because he cannot run again, you say you talk about John McCain and Lindsey Nelson, but if Obama could run again, would he be facing such fervent objections from Senators Charles Schumer and Robert Menendez? And you say probably not. Democratic lawmakers would worry about provoking the wrath of a president who could be reelected. Nor does Obama have to fear the voters, which might be the scariest. But my point is that would be the case if any president had served 4 terms and then said, I'm not running next time. It would be the case if a president serves 1 term and says, I'm only going to be a 1-term president.
No,
so you're not going to eliminate, you're not going to solve these problems permanently by giving the president the right. Yet these are 2 of the most prominent reasons in your piece.
No, look, I get it. I'm not saying that everyone would want to keep running. In fact, there are many people who wouldn't, and that too would be their right. But my larger point here isn't that this limits the power of a second-term president, although I do believe it does. My larger point is that just like George Washington, all right, I feel that the American people should be able to decide who they want to be their president. And right now they can't. Okay? If somebody has served 2 terms, regardless of how well they've done, regardless of what they'd like to do, and most of all, regardless of what the voters would want, right? Let's keep in mind that the Founding Fathers debated this question at great length, and there were members of the convention like George Mason who were very strong proponents of term limits, and they lost. I've seen all this blather on the internet about how, this idea runs counter to the Founding Fathers, the idea of, allowing people to serve serve as long as they can be elected. That's false. I mean, indeed, that's why the Constitution was amended, right?
Right, I mean, because it wasn't in the original right. Absolutely, no doubt about that. But I think people feel uncomfortable, and I think this is why it was amended. And I think people have been perfectly okay with it, except the occasional Clinton supporter who wants him to run again. And
no.
Wait. I know, not you.
You supporters and Reagan supporters.
Okay, but my point is that I think the overwhelming majority of Americans feel uncomfortable, which is why this was passed as an amendment with 2/3 of the states and 2/3 of the Congress passing it. And I think with social media and with mastering social media and with an overall general media that's biased in extreme one direction, it's very dangerous to let a man like Barack Obama or any populist president run again and again and again, because there's a good chance he could keep winning. And that would be horrific for our democracy.
Would you say the same thing about Dwight David Eisenhower or Ronald Wilson Reagan?
I don't think the circumstances were the same then, whether it be social media or the bias in the general media. I think it's a very dangerous slope we're on right now, and I think it's
because let's be clear that right after the amendment passed, Republicans started to doubt it, right, because Eisenhower was in power and a popular president, and Eisenhower himself said he opposed the amendment on the eve of his reelection in 1956, which would be the last time, of course, because now he was term limited. He said, and I quote, "The United States ought to be able to choose for its president anybody it wants, regardless of the number of terms he has served." I take the Eisenhower position.
Okay, but there was no movement. I mean, there was no attempt in the Congress to get this thing going.
Well, that's true in part because the amendment was so recent. Now, when Reagan was serving his second term, there was a movement. It didn't succeed, but a lot of people said, "Listen, this guy's popular. He's a successful president. Why shouldn't he be allowed to stand again?" Listen, if you think that Eisenhower and Reagan shouldn't have been allowed to run again, then you can consistently say that Obama shouldn't be able to run again. Okay, but if, like many Republicans at the time, you think that those guys who were successful
presidents then they're hypocrites. No, then they're hypocrites. Absolutely. Although times have changed, as I alluded to. Look, we'll continue this another time, Professor. I'm out of time. I thank you for coming on, and I hope